Hey guys, so a little bit of a different video from me today. I thought that I would do like a chatty get ready with me type video. I haven't done one of these for a really long time. I thought that I would take the opportunity to try some new products, see what they're like, and just have a general chit chat. I didn't get to do a weekly vlog last month, so I thought I would do this instead. I still got this awful like dry patch here, which I'm gonna have to go back to the doctor about because it still hasn't disappeared. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying or using my Spectrum brushes, my Little Mermaid Spectrum brushes, because I haven't really tried them out too much. I keep them in my stitch pot instead of in the giant shell thing there that they came in, just because I thought if I put them in here I might actually use them a bit more. So some of these products I've used before, some of them I haven't, so we're just gonna give them a good go and have a chat. So the first thing I'm going to try is this Glow Iridescent Priming Elixir from Primark. This was like £4, and I picked this up because I see a lot of these types of primers. I know that the original was by Vasali, which is like super expensive. It's something like £40, and it comes in like this little pipette. It smells like mango. It's really nice. So I don't know, I've seen a few people just like dot this kind of stuff on their face. It's really quite cooling, and I've not really like tried a ton of makeup from Primark. I think they've upped their game though in like more recent times. They seem to sort of keep on top of the trends and dupe a lot of stuff. But it feels really cooling so far on my skin. Oh, smells really good. I have had some issues with my skin the last couple of weeks or so. I think it's stress related because I've had like dots and stuff here, which I don't normally suffer from. So yeah, it's a bit tacky feeling. But quite nice. I don't know, we'll see if it does anything, but the smell of it is really good. Okay, so then I also like to use a bit of the Professional from Benefit on sort of the areas where I have big pores. I do have acne prone skin, oily skin, so tends to be my T-zone that obviously I have big pores. My nose, that's another one. It's not great. I do in my skincare routine try and, you know, get stuff that's supposed to shrink your pores and stuff, but I can still see them. There we go. This is like very like silicone type feeling. I never used to like primers like that, but that one's really grown on me. So I'm gonna take what is like has become my absolute favourite foundation, and that's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. I picked this up in Boots just before Christmas, and it's like easily become my favourite. I love it. I love that it just is on like a little spatula like that. I've just found this to be like the best foundation for me. I like how it applies, I like how it lasts. I always get compliments on my makeup when I wear this foundation. It's weird doing this in the in the monitor, so I do have a mirror here, so excuse me while I blend. But yeah, I've just found it to be like a really good foundation. It's the only thing I've tried from Wet n Wild. I haven't tried anything else. So how are you guys doing at the moment? I'm very up and down at the moment. I've got a lot of stuff going on, particularly sort of work wise, that's stressing me out. That's pretty much my main area of stress right now. As I'm recording this, I've got mine and Shay's birthdays coming up. We're in March, and obviously both of our birthdays are in March. we've got tickets for a sing-along to The Greatest Showman, which I'm really excited about. We both really love that movie, so that should be fun. Other than that, not really got any set plans. So that's one half kind of done. Oh, and I don't know if I've got a cold or what. I've just woken up this morning with such a stuffy nose, and I don't really know why. We have got awful sort of up and down weather here. We've got a weather warning in place for sort of like wind and like stormy type weather. But yeah, I've just got this awful snotty nose. No matter how many times I like blow my nose or anything, it's just hanging around and it sucks. Reading wise, I'm doing really well so far this year. I've read, as of the time of this video, I have read 30 books so far this year. I'd like to average, if I can, 10 books per month. So, you know, that would be 120 books for the year, which I managed last year. I managed to sort of do over that. But as well, like, I set my goal purposely low. So I set it at something ridiculous like 15 books. Because as much as I love the fact that it keeps track of what you read on Goodreads. And I love how it keeps track of, you know, the size of the book, so at the end of the year you get your stats. I do love that, but at the same time it does like put pressure on you if you see that you're falling behind in your reading goal, you know, like you are 3 books behind or whatever. So I don't like that. So like I set it purposely low so that I kind of forget about it and I don't pay attention to how many books I've got left to read. So instead I just kind of tend to pick more of the books that I want to read. That's the theory anyway, and it's kind of working out. Like I said, it's what I did last year, so that's kind of the approach that I go for now. So I don't really have a new concealer. It's just my tried and true Maybelline eye eraser, but this one's nearly run out. Wondering when it will actually run out so I can start the new one. It just seems to keep going at the moment, so even though like it looks like there's like nothing left in there, like look at that, but it's still going. Ugh. Oh, this nose driving me mad. I'm gonna mute myself. Jeez. Oh. I haven't really watched anything new either. Like I finished watching a couple of weeks ago series 13 of Criminal Minds. I don't have access to series 14 yet, so I was at a bit of a loss when I finished that. Like I don't know what to watch now. And I'm still not really watching anything at the moment. I watched Beauty and the Beast yesterday. It was on Netflix, so I had a bit of a sort of trying to have a chilled out weekend as much as possible before the craziness of the work week begins. But yeah, Disney's Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson was on Netflix. I don't know how long it's on Netflix for. I have the DVD anyway, so I don't really know why I watched it on Netflix, but I could, so it was there. Yeah, other than that, not really watching anything, so that's a bit boring. I did watch a film with my mum on Friday, which was a film version of The Little Mermaid. She really liked it. I thought it was a bit naff, if I'm honest, but she enjoyed it. So I think we're going to do blush next. Oh no. Nope. I think I'm actually going to set my face because that primer was a little bit dewy. Not really, but I'll set my face. I'm gonna take one of the Spectrum brushes. This was part of the Little Mermaid collection. I don't know how well it will show on camera, but they've got these sort of like, they shift between like blue and purple and just so my like kind of colour brushes. So I'm just gonna use this powder brush to kind of set everything. Yeah, I bought these brushes and they were not cheap. I got a good deal on them, but you know, they weren't cheap. But like, I haven't really used them, and it's not because I don't want to use them, but like when I do my makeup, I've kind of got into the routine of what brushes I use for what, and like I'm kind of in a place where I tend to like my makeup when I'm finished with it. So I'm always a little bit like, I don't want to ruin it by using different brushes. Does that make sense? It sounds a bit daft, but it's always like, oh, will my makeup turn out the same because I'm using different brushes? So I think that's a big part of why I like haven't used them, because I'm just worried that it won't turn out the same, which is ridiculous because it could turn out better. But I literally just have stuck to the same brushes, which is crazy because I keep buying more brushes but not using them. So really need to kick myself with that habit. Looking in here in these brushes, I don't really see a suitable blush brush. This I would tend to use more as like a highlight or a contour brush. I tend to like a fluffier blush brush. That's a stippling brush. Like none of these would I put blush on with, so I'm gonna stick with my normal blush brush, which is the Real Techniques one. And I'm gonna delve into, not really tried this out much, I picked this up in the boot sale. It had like 70%, no it wasn't quite 70, no it was 70% I think. The Piece of Cake blush palette from Beauty Bakery. They brought out Beauty Bakery gift sets here in the UK for Christmas, like the Christmas gift sets and stuff, but I don't think they were overly popular in Boots because they seem to have a ton left over. So I decided to pick this one up because blush is something that I'm sort of getting a bit more into because I don't have such a big collection of blush. But it came with 3 kinds of colours. I'm going to go for the lightest colour here and see what we get. But originally this gift set, it was that blush set, and it came with a mascara as well, was like 40 something pounds before Christmas, and I got it for like 13 in the sale. So I thought for £13 it was well worth trying. I don't think I would have paid like over £40 for what is blush and mascara, because I know that you can get, you know, blushes and mascaras much cheaper than that. I really like sleek blushes which aren't that expensive, and I really like the NYX blush that I picked up that isn't that expensive. If I was going to pay that much for blush, I would really treat myself and go for like a YSL one that I really like. You know, like a super expensive brand. Although I have seen that Lime Crime are about to bring out blushes, and I'm quite intrigued by that. You can't really see well on camera, but that is quite pretty. That's a nice colour. I don't know when I will use the orange. Maybe in the summer. If I'm feeling brave, I'll manage to pull that off. We'll see. But this shade is definitely a me blush. I tend to like the more neutral, natural blushes. I don't tend to go for overly vibrant blush. I tend to like the neutral tones. Just trying to make sure that they're even. There we go. That's really nice. Like I said, really pretty colour. Really like that, and for the price that I paid for it, I really can't complain too much. Just going to diffuse it a little bit. Take some plain powder and just kind of make it look that little bit more like natural instead of like, I don't know why I bother, because I'm going to whack like a great big streak of highlight on at some point. So Oh no, that does look better. I'm much happier with that. So next, I think I'm going to go with eyes. I tend to leave highlight till last. And then this was another gift set that I picked up, reduced in Boots at the same time, and it was a Winky Lux one. Never tried Winky Lux, but they had this little palette, 2 lip glosses, a lip balm and a highlight all together. These are the colours in here. Not like the most exciting colours, but I think I'm just going to go for a neutral eye, maybe, play it safe. I do like to use the NYX Proof It base because I have really oily eyelids, and if I don't put this on, basically no eyeshadow will ever stay on, whereas this stuff really helps my eyeshadow to actually stay on. Okay, so eye brush wise, let's see what we've got. This fluffy one, angled one, take that one, that one, that one. I'll just take them all out. So we've got a selection of different eye brushes here. So I'm going to take sort of a fluffy one and take the lightest shade, which is called Prim and Proper, which is just sort of a beige creamy shade, and just use that to set my primer. The mirror that I'm using is from the Stila palette. I did think about using this palette, but I thought, oh no, that's a bit boring, it's neutral, and then I realised I'm just going to do a neutral eye with this Winky Lux one anyway. But I haven't, I've only used this Stila one a few times, but I haven't really used this Winky Lux one at all since I got it, so I thought I would take this opportunity to try it out. It's quite hard to tell from just this sort of cream colour because it's just a cream colour really. I just use it to set the primer so that everything else will blend nicely on top of it. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take like this small brush here. I think we're just gonna go really simple and go for like the dark brown, which is called Tea Time. I think we're just gonna go super basic. Let's put a little bit of that. And I have like super hooded eyes, so it's quite hard because when I try and like recreate looks that I see other people do, it's really hard because like you can barely see any of my eyes when I actually look at you. Plus then I wear glasses, so I do wonder sometimes what the point is. But Shay and I actually watched Goblet of Fire. Is it last week? Yeah, last week. And it was the first time in years that I've actually watched that Harry Potter film from start to finish, and it was really nice to actually watch it. Mad Eye Moody, just when he turns Malfoy into a ferret, I think that might be my favourite part of the entire film. I love it. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched it, so that was enjoyable. Just sat down with some popcorn, and I always find this eye is harder to do than this eye, and I don't really know why. Is it just more hooded? Is it a different shape? Like, really not sure. But yeah, when we watched Harry Potter the other day, we were supposed to watch A Star Is Born because Shay hasn't seen it yet. But he changed his mind and he was like, I'd rather watch Harry Potter. so we decided on Goblet of Fire. We also like to play the Harry Potter Mini Trivial Pursuit, which we haven't played in ages, because I think we decided that we were going to watch all the films before we played that again. I got him Friends Monopoly for Christmas, and we haven't played that yet either. Although saying that, I got Cards Against Humanity not last Christmas, the Christmas before, and we haven't played that yet either. Because I think, is it you need like a minimum of 4 people for Cards Against Humanity? I'm not sure. I know you can't play it with 2 people anyway. This is a little bit patchy. No, it's not too bad. I don't know if it's just because it's dark, and I don't know if it's the brush, but it's a little bit. Don't know whether to try and blend it with these brushes here. And just smooth it out a little bit. Diffuse it out. It looks darker on one side, so put a little bit more on this side. There we go, I think that looks a little bit more even. And I'm just going to take a flat brush, and I think I'm going to go for this like coppery rosy colour here called Curtsy, and try that out. Ooh, this one seems very buttery, but it is a shimmer, so you would hope that it would be buttery. And we're literally just going to go that simple, I think. Don't want to do anything complicated today. I'm not doing anything. I'm hoping to just read a little bit more of my book. I just finished reading actually earlier on today, Matilda. Haven't read that book since I was a child, and I recently picked up a new edition of it. So I kind of picked it up on a whim last night, and I've literally finished it this morning. It was really fun to read it. I watched the film, you know, every now and then, but it was nice to actually read the book, and it's made me want to pick up some more of Roald Dahl's books. My favourite when I was younger was the Twits. I used to love the Twits. I think that it's simple. I think it doesn't come across quite as well on camera, but that coppery colour is really, really pretty. I do want to put something. This is supposed to be a brow brush, but I want like a. No, I don't like that one. I'll just take this one that we used and take some of the brown, I think. It's a little bit of fallout, but it's not too bad. Some people do their eyes first, and I've thought about that, but I can't do it like I have like a routine. I can't make myself do my eyes first. I can't do it. That might have been a bit too much. I'm quite excited because Jeffree Star's supposed to be bringing out the Blood Sugar Part 2, supposedly sometime in March, which I was going to ask for my birthday, but I will probably end up just ordering myself if it doesn't sell out. Okay, so that's that done. I'll take my mascara. This is a dupe for the Benefit Burial. This just came from Aldi. It's just a supermarket mascara, but It's not a bad dupe, I would say. So yeah, as I was saying, Blood Sugar. Really intrigued as to how, like, the colours that are going to be in that palette. Jeffree Star's original Blood Sugar palette is probably my favourite of his palettes. I like the Alien palette. I haven't played with it as much as I should have. Need to play around with it a little bit more, but I think my favourite is the Blood Sugar, so I'm really intrigued to see the colours that are going to be in the second one. Is it going to be more reds and purples, or is it going to be reds and something else? Because the selection of reds in that palette is insane, and I never used to like red eyeshadow. I used to think it made me look like I was ill, but there are some really wearable looks that you can pull off with that palette. Okay, so that is mascara done. I don't go crazy on mascara. I'm not, for several reasons, but one being that I have quite sensitive eyes, so I've got to be quite careful, sort of. Still a little bit of fallout hanging around. There we go. What do you think? I think it looks quite pretty. Okay, so on to highlighter. I'm going to go in with the Ofra highlighter in Star Island. This is just my favourite highlighter of life. I love it so much. I thought about using the fan brush. Should I try it? I don't normally put highlighter on with a fan brush. So this is the Ofra highlighter in Star Island. I love it. I do have I do have the Nikki Tutorials collaboration in Space Baby, which is beautiful, but it's very cool toned because it's got a blue shift. So I don't think it would go very well with this particular look we've got going on, but we'll try. Normally I take a bigger brush like this for my highlighter, but I think because Star Island is so pigmented, I can actually use a fan brush. Normally I feel like a fan brush doesn't make it show up, but oh, so pretty. This is one of my absolute favourite highlighters. I haven't really used another highlighter for ages because every time I put makeup on I always just grab this one, but I have ordered a new highlighter which I'm excited to arrive. It's a Ciate one, and it is the Jessica Rabbit one, and I'm really excited for that one. A lot of it is packaging because obviously it's Jessica Rabbit, and it's kind of just like the novelty of it being a Jessica Rabbit collection, but I'm really excited for it anyway. Okay, so that's, see, just look at that. I mean, the light keeps changing because, like I say, like we've got awful weather here today, but bam, I just love it. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush as well and just take a little bit of it sort of on my brow bone. I'm not going to do anything with my brows today because, if I'm honest, I can't be bothered, and I very rarely do because I've got dark brows and I've got them sort of shaped and everything. I don't feel like I need to do them. I don't think it's blatantly obvious if I don't do them. So I'm going to take a bit of this highlighter as well and pop that in my inner corner like that. There we go. Bam! Love that. And then, I'm not normally a gloss person, but lately I haven't wanted to wear anything matte on my lips because I just feel like it dries me out. And I've already got dry enough lips, but I'm going to use the Winky Lux Disco Gloss that's obviously came in the set with this, and it looks green, but I think it's like one of those pH glosses that changes colour, so I thought I would try it out on camera and see what it looks like. Immediately it's not very liquidy. It's not too liquidy. It smells quite nice, even though I can't figure out what it's supposed to smell of. Oh yeah, you can see the pink coming through. Okay. Oh, that's a bit more pink than I would normally wear. I don't tend to wear pinks, I tend to wear neutrals. Bit more pink than I would normally wear if I'm honest, but we'll go with it. So let me put my glasses on. So this is essentially what we've managed to come up with today. I really like the eyes. It's so basic, it's just 2 colours, but I just think it's very pretty. I think it goes well with my jumper. Highlight, obviously, love. I love the blush. The primer, I don't know if it does anything. Do I look more glowy than normal? Who knows? But it felt really nice to go on. It didn't feel oily. And it felt really nice and cooling, and it smelled really nice, so I'll definitely be using this again. I loved, like I said, the really basic eye look. I don't like things that are too complicated because I feel like I don't have the skill to do it. The brushes I really enjoy. I'm definitely going to leave them out and get more use out of them, so be using them more frequently in my makeup routine. Highlight, I obviously love. It's like my favourite highlight of life. The only thing is I'm not too sure on this gloss, because it's not because of the gloss, it's more the colour that it is, because it's not a colour that I would normally gravitate to. I gravitate more towards the browns, neutrals, mauve even, or even red. I'm a bit more comfortable with. Pink is not my gig. But I don't dislike it, it's just a bit bright. It might tone down after a little while. But yeah, so that's everything, guys. I'm sorry it was a bit of a random video, but I just felt like recording it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.